Greetings everyone and welcome to another draft of Midnight Hunt. And well, actually a pretty decent first pack here. The rare is not really first pickable, but the Morbid Opportunist is the best uncommon in the set and also better than any common in the set, so it's the pick here. I do like the other uncommons, but of course these are two color cards, so first picking them is always gonna be risky. Out of the commons there's still decent options, Eaten Alive, Flip the Switch. Come to my mind first. Maybe the Flip the Switch isn't really a card you're happy to first pick, but you could in some very weak pack. Eaten Alive is okay. But yeah, pretty easy Morbid Opportunist here, and let's just move on here. Someone took the rare. There's no monocolor black card I'm that interested in. Definitely not going to pick a Blade Brand here. So I'm gonna pick a card from some other color, and there are decent options. There's also an Evolving Wilds, which is, just going to go to deck anyway, but it's not really, pack 1, pick 2 is not the kind of a place to pick it over some actual very good spells. So Corpse Gobble, Overwhelmed Archivist, these two are the options I'm thinking about. There's some decent white here, but I think the uncommons are better. And of course this is a monocolor card, so it might be the option, but I do like the Corpse Gobble a lot here. So if I just could be drafting black and blue here, that would be fantastic. If I take the Archivist, I have still option to maybe, if black isn't open, I can play blue with something else. But I think the Corpse Gobble is enough of a better card, so I take it. And now I'm getting, well, black is open. Black is open, what the heck is this? Wow. So basically, this pick 3, someone took two players took commons out of this pack. So one of them could be an Organ Holder, and even a Moonrage's Slash is here. So what two commons you pick over Infernal Grasp and Jadar? I mean, I guess the reasoning for the players was that the pack has multiple good black cards, so maybe they don't want to pick a black card and then fight over it in pack 2, which I think is an incorrect line of thinking. And now, anyway, the pick is gonna be either the Infernal Grasp or the Jadar, and I do like the free Decayed Zombie you get. I already get some, both of these synergize with it quite a lot. So even though Infernal Grasp is an amazing card, I think I'd have to take the Jadar here. And I get, yeah, okay. Well, based on the previous pack, I'm gonna say that black is going to be hugely open here in this direction. So I'm gonna take the Foul Play now over the Diagraph Horde. This is a really good card, but this is a nice cheap removal spell, and I think I like to pick it now here. But yeah, I would really like to have another Diagraph Horde here. I could even be mono black here, maybe splashing for blue. Well, we'll see. Because I think I'm gonna play the Corpse Gobble no matter what. So let's say if I was mono black, I would still have a few islands in the deck and play the Corpse Gobble. Here, Devoted Graphkeeper is great if I just was blue-white, which I'm of course not, because it's pretty obvious at this point that black is gonna be my main color. I take this Hobbling Zombie over the blue options. There's a Drownyard, Amalgam, Gale Drifter, which are pickable options. I guess they're locked in the Cemetery as well, but I just try to keep black here, and I might, have blue only as a minor splash here. That said, I still have an option to be black. I have the option to combine black with something else than blue. Of course, I only have one blue card, and blue hasn't been that open here, so I could easily just ignore the Corpse Gobble here. This pack, though, doesn't really... I mean, this is a decent card here, but it's not gonna be great in a base black deck, so I'll take the No Way Out. Nothing wrong with the card, so I'll take it here. Did I say this is a traditional draft? I guess you saw from the video name, but this is a traditional draft, so sideboard cards are also an option here. They are something I should consider, but of course the No Way Out is completely main deckable card as well. Well, here I'm taking the Eaten Alive. I would like to have also the Crawl from the Cellar, but actually I think it was pick 2 that had also Crawl from the Cellar, so I might have, at pick number 10, I still might have an option to pick the Crawl, which I would definitely want to have in this deck. Okay, Startle here. I have some red here, but I could be playing blue, and then definitely Startle is an interesting option to have. Also kind of splashable. I don't have to play like 8 islands to play a Startle. 5 or 6 is gonna be enough islands to be able to play Startle here. Here I have like a stuffed bear. I could have an Ardent Elementalist if I still go black-red. Component Collector is not a card I'm really interested in. I'll take the Elementalist because it might be that I open like a black-red, some amazing rare, who knows. And then, I mean, golden card, black-red, and I will ignore the blue in that case. I want to have the option to play this in case I move to red. Now I'm taking the Evolving Wilds over the Blade Brand easily. Even if I'm mainly black, I still don't mind having an Evolving Wilds here, and maybe it should be in the deck. And here I do have a Crawl from the Cellar, along with 2 decent black cards, but I think no way. Well, I'm not taking another No Way Out. How many zombies I have? Well, not a lot, because I have only 3 creatures here. I think the Shady Traveler is still, I like it quite a bit, but I think for in this deck that Crawl from the Cellar will just be a better option. I can take the Locked in the Cemetery. I got a Component Collector, which I'm most likely not gonna play, but these blue cards here are completely, reasonable additions to the deck. Alright, so this pack doesn't have a, well, it has black options, it has a very nice red option too, but it also has a Patrician Geist and a Scarp Wrangler. I don't like the Heirloom mirror that much. I have played with this thing a few times and against this thing, and it's actually quite rare that you get the 4/4 flyer so that it doesn't get dealt with somehow. And it's very slow to get there. So I don't think it's that good of a card at all. Now, if I take something like a Scarp Wrangler or the Patrician Guys, that means I will have to play a lot of blue sources. It would be basically a even two color deck in terms of the mana base, even if I have mostly black cards. But I think the Scarp Wrangler is just so good here that I have to take it. The Patrician Guys is, at its best in, of course, a blue and white deck. It's still okay in black and white, black and blue, but I think the Scarp Wrangler fits this deck more. Okay, well, look at the options here. The cards I would be very happy to pick here, in addition to this very good rare here. I mean, you can just sacrifice a Decayed Zombie and you get a very good counter magic. But anyway, Fading Hope, Flip the Switch, Defenestrate are cards I would be happy to pick here, but I have to pass all 3 of them, so what can I do? I'll just take the Great Rare here and I'm still very happy. Alright, so, wow. Oh, well, I'm happy my colors are super open, but look at the cards I'm gonna pass here. I'm gonna pass Eaten Alive and Organ Hoarder. One of these 3. Well, it's gonna be the Eaten Alive. I'm gonna pass for sure. The decision is between the Blade Stitched Garb and the Organ Hoarder, and that's a really tough decision, I think. Both are great with Crawl from the Cellar. This is just so good in general. I think I'll take the 2-mana card. Also, although this thing has a chance to come back to me. At pick number 11, this not. Okay, I'm gonna gamble here. I'm gonna take the Organ Hoarder and because it's a 2-color card, it seems no one is black, so maybe someone can hate pick it, but there's still the Eaten Alive in that pack, but I'm pretty sure the Organ Hoarder is not gonna come back because anyone drafting blue will just, snap pick it, whereas the blue-black dual color card in theory could come back. I'm not gonna count on that, but I mean, that was a choice between 2 very good cards. I'm happy that I got either of them from that pack. The Bait Hook Angler, I need actually some 2-drops now, especially when I just had an option to pick one, but I didn't. So yeah, let's take the Angler, nothing wrong with that there. Yeah, okay, look at this stuff. Wow. I mean, there's an Ecstatic Awakener, the Eaten Alive, Nebelgast Intruder. These are the kind of high quality cards here. And then there's a Startle, which I would definitely pick over the Locked in the Cemetery. Wow. I mean, I guess I have 6 creatures. The Awakener, I mean, how many Eaten Alives have I passed in this draft? A lot. Well, I still have one of them picked. I think I do like the Awakener more. This is just so good. But man, this draft is so weird. Even another Craft Keeper here. Well, no one is blue-white either. There's also a pretty decent selection of white cards here. Anyway, Siege Zombie is definitely a card I'm happy to have here. And why not a pick 7 Midnight Ambush? It's gonna still be better than the Flip the Switch. So let's take the removal spell. I'm curious about the pick number 11 if I'm gonna actually get the blade stitched scarp. I could take the evolving wilds or I could take the vivisection. I think I'm not taking the vivisection because it's it's a pretty decent one if you have a lot of decayed zombies, but I'm gonna have enough. I mean, I'm currently at 17 non lands here. I'm gonna have enough spells anyway, and the vivisection is, while it's good, it's not really maybe that important in the end. I'll take the Blood Pact in here because I have one component collector already. If I want to sideboard in A1 for some reason, I can do that. Okay, flip the switch. And now let's see if I get either Eaten Alive or Blade Stitched Scarp from this pack. Neither of them came back, so the Duras is still here as a sideboard card. I would have wanted to get something like that from there. I mean, one of the good cards, but I still got a Organ Hoarder from that pack, so I can't be that sad. Okay, I'm not gonna main deck 2 of these Locked in the Cemetery. One might be main deckable. I'm also not sure about the Unblinking Observer I have. Well, I have 4 instants, 4 sorceries. It's something I could still main deck here. But let's see what I find from pack 3. Well, a bunch of options. Nothing like too amazing. It's still a pretty good pack here. And I think I'll take the Covetous Castaway. 2 mana 1/3 and it comes back as a 5 mana 3/4 flyer. I can shuffle 3 cards from my graveyard into my library. In case some late long game, you know, you will slightly improve with the quality of your draws after you have cast a ghostly castigator. Other options are something like 2-drops, which I actually have quite a few here now. But this is a 2-drop too, but this is mainly like also a 5-drop. Well, I guess it's both, so let's take this. And here, there's a Revenge of the Drowned, which I might take. Wouldn't mind a Bat Whisperer, also, although the previous pack had one too, and it might come back. But I do like the interaction here, maybe. I have 10 creatures now, so I like the bounce, let's take it. And I have a lot of uses for the okay, I'm ignoring these cards. I was saying something. I have a lot of uses for the Decayed Zombies, I think. I have like Scarp Wrangler, Siege Zombie, and of course Ecstatic Awakener, Eaten Alive. Well, a lot, and that wasn't even the only ones. There's a Corpse Gobble, yeah, a lot of uses for the Decayed Zombies. Okay, so Infernal Grasp. I didn't pick it the last time. I think I took the, what it is, the Jadar over it. Well, now this package is full of good cards for me, but I'm gonna take what I think is the best pick for me. So let's take it, and I'm gonna have a pretty high quality deck here in terms of the card power level. Let's see how it's gonna go. I think I should take the 4-drop. Internal Operation might not be the kind of card this deck particularly needs, so let's take the thing that can come with the Flying Friend. That Bat token is also something I can sacrifice for an Ecstatic Awakener or the something like a Eaten Alive, for instance. Okay, yeah, this is a weird draft. The colors are so open. I have passed so many good cards for my colors, and I'm still having so many, I mean, playables here. I'm already at 23 playables, and I'm picking here like a Eaten Alive, which is a decent card, but well, I guess the first cut from the deck, because I think it's gonna be a 23 spell deck, so 17 lands. I'm at 24 spells now. The first cut might still be the Unblinking Observer. I don't think I need a mana adding ability, and the 2 mana 2/1 is also not something I'm too interested in. Here, I don't really need a third Evolving Wilds. I guess I would play 3 if I had 3, but here Silverbolt is definitely the pick here. I think it's gonna go to the sideboard though. I'm gonna sideboard it in against decks that have either werewolves or up to 3 toughness creatures that are, you know, must kill creatures. It is somewhat inefficient if you kill like a 2 mana 2/2 with this. It's not the best thing ever because you paid 1 plus 3 mana to do that. Alright, so Shady Traveler versus Dissipate. I do like the creature here more than the counterspell. I also have a Flip the Switch, which, you know, is a counterspell. But where's the Unblinking Observer? That should be cut now. Behemoth over Cover Up. There's also a sideboard card of Field of Ruin, which has, I think, one reasonable target. It's the Hostile Hostel, which you could sideboard. I mean, if your opponent has that, you could maybe sideboard this in, but it's pretty, because it doesn't produce any color, yeah, and it can't fetch anything unless the opponent has a non-basic land, so it's not really, it's a pretty questionable card to be playing. Anyway, I might want to have the Behemoth here as kind of a curved topper here. I don't know about the cuts though. Here I'm going to have something as a sideboard card, and I think the Secrets of the Key, in some very grindy matchup, I might want to have the thing that will eventually draw me 3 cards when the game goes very late. Alright, Dissipate or Novice Occultist. I have so many playables that I don't think I need this thing. This could be a counter spell. I mean, a sideboard card when I really need to counter something annoying. Another crawl. I don't know how many zombies I have. I have only 4, so I'm gonna play only 1 crawl in the main deck. This Interloper also might not be in the main deck, but it's a good option to have. Wow, what a draft. Okay, so well, I'm not main decking this. I guess the Interloper is something I could consider, but probably won't have room for that. I have 2 cuts to make currently, so let's see what the cuts are, and if this happens to be something that I'd rather cut instead of the Vampire Interloper, I might put this in the deck in that case. But I don't think this deck really needs the Interloper. It's not the kind of deck that cares too much about that kind of an effect. This has a very strong late game, so the unblockable, sorry, the creature that cannot block, which is good, which is not so good when you are trying to stabilize, might not be the one to have in this deck. Alright, so I feel like I play the 1 crawl from the cellar. I have some creatures I still like. I really like to return. Something like Jadar dying is really nice to get it back, and of course, great to get back Organ Hoarder. And well, there are enough things to get back. So let's see. I'm not cutting that. I'm not cutting. I think I'm going to cut the Locked in the Cemetery from the main deck. I have, because I have what, 2 Eternal Lives, and then I have Foul Play, Infernal Grasp, Midnight Ambush here. Flip the switch. Well, it's sort of interaction in a way. There's a bounce spell and there's a control magic, so yeah, definitely I don't need Locked in the Cemetery. That's the easiest cut here. But I still want to play 17 lands because this deck is so good that I don't wanna. I don't think flooding is a problem because I have so many cards that can get me more cards. I have the Organ Hoarder, I have the Crawl from the Cellar, which is basically drawing 2 cards, well, sort of drawing in the long term. I have some, Disturb Creatures, Morbid Opportunist. I forgot this was the first pick in the draft. Yeah, there's no way to risk, no reason to risk running only 16 lands because getting stuck to maybe like 2 or 3 lands for a too long time, that's one way of losing with this deck, and I don't think a flooding out is going. I would have to have a pretty massive flooding for it to be an actual problem, so definitely 17 lands is the correct number to run. So all that said, I need to make the final cut now, so it's going to be what card exactly. I don't actually. I was thinking about the No Way Out, but I have so many uses for the Corpse Gobble. Like, yeah, I have so many uses for the Decayed Zombie that I really don't want to cut it, but it might still be it. I guess the Bait Hook Angler can be cut, but it's also something I can easily sacrifice either the front half or the second half for stuff like Ecstatic Awakener or the Eternal Life. So I want to play the Bat Whisperer because it's kind of like a, 4-mana play. I want to still have some amount of these more expensive cards. The Behemoth is going to be my curve topper here for sure. So maybe I just have to accept the fact that, well, I in fact have a lot of Decayed Zombie production anyway. So yeah, I think the decision about the final cut is going to be between Bait Hook Angler and No Way Out. And sometimes, I mean, the No Way Out isn't that great. I mean, you can draw it late in the game. Well, it is. That said, it is very good when you get, for example, the last 2 cards from the opponent's hand. It's a a higher variance card than the bait hook angler, which is going to always be fine. This is sometimes a bit bad, sometimes it's amazing, and the fact it gives the decayed zombie, it's the reason I'm considering it in the first place, because this deck really cares about having those. But let's see the number of 2-drops I have here. If well, not counting the bait hook angler now. So 1, 2. The removal spells are kinda 2-drops. But counting the creatures, there are 4 creatures: Jadar, Siege Zombie, Wrangler, and the Castaway. And then there is like a Foul Play, Infernal Grasp, Midnight Ambush. So I have plays to make on turn 2. Don't necessarily need the bait hook angler, but I do like the double use of it. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna play the bait hook angler here. I'm gonna cut the No Way Out now. So do I have a double casters? I have, but I have more black cards than blue cards, but the only double caster in the deck is in fact Crafted Identity. That's not the whole truth, because the Eaten Alive is a double caster when you use 5 mana for it, and the Mokrat Behemoth is also a double caster, but it's a 7 mana double caster. At 7 lands I should have at least 2 swamps. I don't think that's too big of an ask, but the 5 mana exile spells could, I can count these as double casters that might matter. Anyway, I have this 1 blue double caster, and I have 15 black and 9 blue. This is total of 24, because the double color card is counted twice there. It's counted both as a black and a blue card, so that's the reason there. So I think with the 2 Evolving Wilds, because I'm going to have, of course I'm going to have 8 plus 7 basics. I still take more black cards because I have more black mana producers, because I have more black cards, and the difference is not trivial. I mean, small, it's actually a significant difference here, 9 versus 15. So I'm going to, my mana base will still be pretty good with the double Evolving Wilds. So I'm playing here what 7 islands is still going to effectively give me access to 9 blue producers and 10 black producers here. Let's take this Rebecca land here. Alright, so I mean, it's as good of a deck as you could hope for. I have a removal, powerful cards, and a good mana curve. Those are the things you want from your decks. Let's see how the matches are gonna go. Okay, on the play with a completely reasonable hand here. I have some graveyard things, especially now I have the Crawl from the Cellar here, so the mill 3 cards will actually quite often benefit me. I have double blue, double black available, 2 mana play, 3 mana play. Let's have the 2 power creature first. Which can trade with that. Oh, foul play. Okay. I should just definitely... I mean, if the opponent blocks, that's fine, but I don't think they're gonna do that. I would be pretty happy if they did. But yeah, I'm gonna just use it now that they are tapped out. Of course, this is also a sorcery, but I'd rather play this now than cast the Covetous Castaway. I can fetch now. I don't need more islands than these 2, so I'm gonna just get a swamp right away. Just to save some time. Next turn I can even draw a card and play a 2 mana spell, so pretty fine here. Okay, I still can continue my attacks here. There's also a Hobbling Zombie. Okay, let's first see what happens. Can't expect them to block because I have the disturb value from the card anyway. So I could play the Hobbling Zombie. Or I can do... I suppose the 1-3 is not that great against that thing, so I should just, do this. Because I can trade with it and then I can get it back. Although I won't... Well, let's see what happens. I don't have to block with it. Oh, they have a 3rd color and then suddenly a Rem colorless. Okay then. So this says, if a spell would deal damage to them or their creatures or permanents, I suppose, also planeswalkers are relevant. Prevent all the damage. Well, I don't have damage dealing spells, I don't think. But then if they play a spell that deals damage to me or a permanent I control, the spell does extra damage. So now the question is, do I wanna... I guess with the crawl from the cellar I should do this. I don't have to give anything a +1/+1 counter, and I can give the decayed zombie if I want to. I currently don't have any need for the decayed zombie. Oh, flip the switch. Well, that's quite fine actually. I can end of turn either draw a card or if I don't get to use the counter spell. So I'm gonna play the Castaway now. Let's first play that and see if that's going to change my, No, it's oh, sorry. I thought it was actually Hentes the Battlefield ability. I haven't played a lot of with this card, but it's only a death trigger, so yeah, it doesn't do anything right now. The question is, do I want to... I have no reason to attack with the zombie token. They are at 16, so I might find something that I might want to sacrifice it for some effect, or I might want to just give it a +1/+1 counter, or something like that. So this is a good spot to be in. I can counter a spell or draw a card if they really pass with no spells worth countering. That's kinda... Yeah, let's counter it. I don't know if they're gonna have another spell there. This gives me a zombie token, and I'd really hope they have something else, but I guess they are... Okay, Eaten Alive is going to be quite good. Now I just have to wonder if I want to use all this mana for it or not. I can just sacrifice a Covetous Castaway. That's really something because the 1/3 is quite unnecessary here. I can't even attack through this thing. So I think I should just do that thing exactly. How do I play my turn? Then I get the Hobbling Zombie. I will mill 3 cards though, so let's see what I'm gonna mill here. I'm going to... Because I might want to use this so that one of these things get a counter. That's the reason I'm doing it pre-combat now. But yeah, let's sacrifice a creature and target the Rem Carolus here, of course, because that's the risky business here. What 3 cards I'm gonna mill here? Land, crafted identity and a land, so nothing I can use. So now the crawl is an option. I guess I'm going to crawl here, Hobbling Zombie, because I can cast it and this thing gets a counter. And then I will attack with the 3/3. Do I want to attack with everything? I guess I will attack now with everything because this is quite a bit of damage in fact. And this Hobbling Zombie is going to give me also a Decayed Zombie most likely at some point. And that's going to... I mean, if I really need something to sacrifice, I can then sacrifice that. And I can still sacrifice the Bait Hook Angler. I mean, it's not a bad idea if I really get something. Let's say a Morkrut Behemoth. And they just didn't care. Well, considering what I had in my graveyard, I wasn't gonna run out of stuff to do, and I still had the Death Toucher. Well, anyway, they conceded, so what to do here? They are black and... Sorry, no, they are not black. They are green and I guess white, and maybe they splash for or some red, including the Carolus, so maybe they are green-white. I'm thinking about here... I mean, all the cards I saw here... Funnily, this thing only prevents spell damage. It doesn't prevent damage from a permanent, and this of course is relevant for Silver Bolt, so it doesn't prevent any of these 3 damage. So all the cards I saw are killable by this, but they are all bad, exchanges for mana. So these things cost 2 each, and if I use 4 mana to kill them, it's not that great. And then the Rem Carolus, well, it's good to kill this thing, but I have a lot of kill spells. But they are green, but I didn't see any werewolves. So well, I saw 2, but I mean they are just 2 drops. I didn't see the expensive werewolves against which the Silver Bolt is very good. So I don't really know now about the cards. I guess I don't want to have the locked in the cemetery because they have 2 cards that can get it killed. Sometimes even for free when this is, when it's night, this can just kill artifacts and enchantments with an attack trigger. So is there something that's not really that amazing in here? I don't think there's anything that bad in the deck. I might just keep all the stuff I have here. No way out. Yeah, no, just... I'm gonna need more information about their deck before I... The random 2-mana spells and I saw there, and the white red Rem Carolus, they don't really make me want to sideboard anything specific. Alright, this would be a pretty decent hand. Opponent did mulligan, but if one of these was a black sauce. My deck has total of 7 islands. Yes. 7 islands, 8 swamps, and 2 evolving wilds. So I have only 3 islands. Any land of the remaining 13 except one of the... I guess there are 13 lands and 3 of them are islands. So any other land would be a good draw because then this hand would be pretty playable. I think I'm gonna risk it now because this is a pretty decent curve. I can always play this 2-drop, and if I draw a black source by turn 3 I can also play this thing. With the caveat that... caveat, that's how you pronounce the word. That if my 3rd draw step happens to be an evolving wilds, then of course I can't play my 3-mana spells. They have a 1-drop, 2-drop here. I'll just trade with the Pasteland Wolf here. Especially with the 1-1 here, the 2-1 is not really that useful. So let's see, they have a Rem Carolus, which I suppose I can kill at some point. I don't have the black mana, so I can't even assume to be playing the Morbid Opportunist anytime soon. So let's just save some damage here now. Okay, so I need... So this is kind of an interesting point because it's possible that my next draw, the card on top of my deck, is one of the 2 evolving wilds. Now, if that was the case, I would definitely need to do the startle now. But if I leave this for the opponent's turn, I can actually prevent 2 damage, which can be relevant too. And I think if the top card is an evolving wild, so I'm in a decent enough shape anyway, that I'm willing to take this small risk here. And it happened to be a swamp, so that's pretty decent. I can now take 1 damage and then I can play the Morbid Opportunist. And then, I could also play the Path Whisperer, but it's not that good. I'm gonna play the Opportunist here. Hope they don't have a removal for it, and then I will draw a card from this thing. Although it seems they might have. Yeah, that's not good for me at all. I really hope they didn't have... that this could still be a pump spell. I mean, they would have to have like the Moonrage's Slash or something like that. I guess there's some... Well, let's see. Anyway, now if this dies, I get to draw a card now. I mean, it will die, but if they don't respond by killing this, and they didn't, so now I'm in a decent shape. I still need more black mana to, be able to double cast. I will have 5 lands, but if I only... Oh, they're attacking with the Veteran, so I'm assuming it's a pump spell. I'm taking the 1 because I can respond with an Infernal Grasp or the Midnight Ambush or something like that, so it is worth it, I think. Okay, Candlelit Cavalry. Well, that has to be killed by the... I really hoped for... it would have been really good if I did draw the black source. Now the sad thing about this hand is that I have 5 lands and I have cheap card spells but only 1 black source. Oh, I made a big mistake here. Yeah, and I think you might have caught it. So if because I'm gonna draw a card right now. I have to do it this now. So this could be up for swamp, and I played a land here, which was the island. I guess I hope it's not a swamp. Okay, it wasn't a swamp, so I didn't get punished, but if this was a swamp, and I already played the island, that would have been a huge problem. But now I have the angler here, which I'm gonna attack with this thing and play the angler here. I'm gonna just, block the veteran here. I don't have a way to kill this quite yet, but I will get there. I will be getting there. Because now I still need a dumb... actually, yeah, my deck had only about 3 islands and a bunch of other lands that can get me black mana, including 7 swamps. I still drew an island here. Anyway, I will maybe draw another card here. I'm going to attack with both. Then I can respond with the Midnight Ambush. If they block the opportunities, then try to, you know, pump their guy. They chose that because, well, understandable, they want to have a 1/1 flyer, but I know I don't get to draw a card and still play something. And still, no. Well, it's not a bad one, of course, because I can use it to get rid of this thing. And now I will get the Bat Whisperer token. The 1/1 token will kill the... will trade with the Luminous Phantom here. But this is pretty annoying that I have only the 1 swamp here. Let's see. It's gonna be this because they did take 2 damage there, right? Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be this. They do have a duel for dominance, okay. Well, now I got rid of that thing. All I now need is to kill the Remcarolus here. Hope they don't have a very big pump spell right now. I will take 2 here, because I need to have a blocker for this thing too. But I will have a blocker for it. I finally, now that is good. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to... I have only 1 instant, so I don't need really the swamp here. I don't need to show them that I have the 2 swamps now. They will take 6 here most likely. And now what I will be doing here is that I'm gonna exile the Remcarolus. And I'm gonna sacrifice maybe the Bait Hook Angler for that. Then I'm gonna cast the Bait Hook Angler, the Hook Haunt Drifter, so I have 2 blockers for the Phantom. That's very safe. And then I think I still have mana to cast the Shady Traveler. Or, well, let's play the swamp now. So I'm gonna sacrifice. Exile this. Sacrifice the Angler. They get a life, so this leaves the battlefield effect, so that works even when stuff gets exiled. Yep, I can play the Bait Hook Angler and will play the Shady Traveler here. Now I have 2 blockers for this stuff. Also the day-night cycle started, so if it becomes night, my Midnight Ambush, and it did. Midnight Ambush will be great. So let's see. Don't think I need to... I mean, it seems like they just flood out. I know I have the foul play, but they might have a pump spell, and I'd rather, you know, make them... Okay, that is completely fine. And now I could play the Behemoth sacking something. But I have 2 blockers. I guess this... Okay, I should be actually playing around a lot of stuff now. Because one thing they could have, of course, is the red uncommon instant that gives +X+O, trample, and first strike, I think. So if they have a land and that, that's gonna make it so that they have 7 power. I guess if I double block, I still don't die. But I'm still gonna play it safe, and I just play the Siege Zombie and leave the Midnight Ambush up here. Because they're gonna, I mean, they're gonna die to my attacks anyway. They might have a mass removal spell. Well, in that case, I still have the Behemoth to follow it up with. Alright, so, yeah. They didn't really have much going on there, so... easy win in the end. Even though I struggled a bit with, you know, the black mana sources in there. Again, one of those cases where if I draw a black source, it's gonna be pretty good. I'm going to keep it because first of all I'm on the draw, so I have a 2-drop anyway, but then I have also an additional draw available here, so I'm gonna keep it. I have 8 swamps and I have also 2 evolving wilds, so 10 of my 32 cards are gonna give me black mana. And I have multiple draw steps before I'm gonna be, you know, struggling. That's a good one. They got even a... They did get a... you know, milled a thing that's relevant from the graveyard, so that's good for them. I'm not gonna block here because this has disturb. I'd rather at least try to use Startle here. Okay, well, and I didn't. Yeah, okay. Wow. With this start, with me not drawing any land here, I think I'm gonna be in big trouble. This start, of course, the opponent has is an incredibly strong start here now. Let's see if I get any value out of this, or do they have a response in here? Okay, they bounced that, but I still do get to draw my card, I guess. Not sure if it's gonna help if especially if I don't draw any lands here. I mean, this is fourth card, it was not even the island. And they can continue curving out. Okay, so I drew 5 cards, none of them was a land, so there's just no point continuing here. I could play my 2-drop and trade with something, I mean, something that has this step, they can replay it, and the Geist here is gonna pump the spirit, so yeah, not gonna happen here. So 5 draw steps. Oh yeah, 5 not draw steps because I drew 1 card from this, but anyway, 5 draws, none of them was land of any kind. They have a very strong, based on the cards I saw, unless these were the best cards in their deck, I'm assuming they have a very strong deck there with, you know, the spirit stuff there. So Locked in the Cemetery might not be the worst against Disturb creatures, because they do have a Geist there, though. It's going to be very good. They can bounce their own creature and then also draw a card. So, no, I don't like that. Dissipate is decent. It will counter and exile. I think I'll play a Dissipate here. But that's pretty much it, I think. And then I will need to not play something else. I might just cut the flip the switch, because countering a creature card that has a creature spell that has, you know, when the creature also has a disturb, it's not so great when they just get another use out of it. So I think Dissipate is just a better one here. Now, it's a double caster, but I suppose with the 9 blue sources, it shouldn't be that problematic in the end. So that's the only switch I make here, and let's hope I can actually curve out like the opponent did. But yeah, that was a really good start from them. If they have anything similar, I'm gonna have trouble even if I curve out better myself. Okay, well, this is a 100. There's no excuse keeping that one, and this is fine. I'll cut the swamp, I think, and I need to in fact get an island with evolving wilds, because I have the Dissipate already here. Okay. Okay, the opportunist is good. I think I'm going to gonna do it like this, and if they block, that's fine. I will take the trade here. I mean, I will get to draw a card, so that's fine for me. They get, of course, the disturb version of that card, but it's still a good trade. They get to recast it as a 1/2. I got to draw a card. It's fine. Well, they have the guys there, which I maybe can bounce this card, bounce counter at some point. I won't be able to block with this thing, so I should just attack. I have the revenge here. I mean, there's no point for me to not attack here. They might have taken 1 here, because it's not. I mean, taking 1. I guess there's a reason not to take it. Is that I could have some trigger based on them taking damage, so like a Bat Whisperer. All right, so I'll take 2 here, and then I won't be dissipating the Bait-Hook Angler. It's only gonna cost. Okay, that I think I have to. It feels I have to, because it's gonna draw them cards eventually. Okay, well, now I draw all the lands I need. Fine. Let's make it annoying then. Well, they blocked last time and they're gonna block now too, so whatever, I'm not gonna attack. I will be making a Decay Zombie, which will draw me a card when it attacks and, you know, dies. Fine, let's do this then. Maybe they have a counterspell. They didn't play even the 1-mana thing, so maybe they have the 3/3. Yeah, this thing. Don't know why they did. They wanted to play around a counterspell, I guess. Oh man. that was yet another land here. Okay then. Two or less. Well, I have one target for it. Sadly, I don't get to draw a card from this, but I think I wanna draw this card anyway. So let's just. Okay, that's a good one though. I can still, you know, especially with this thing, if I have, depending on what the 3 cards are. If I get to, well, I'm gonna get to keep a card for sure. They could have done, by the way, this thing pre-combat to deal additional damage. Anyway, it depends on what I'm milling here. I should maybe tap 3 of these. Leave 2 swamps up. Okay, well, definitely taking the crafted identity. This is one of the ways to win here. Still. And I have the Cobscobble now up, which is gonna be pretty nice, and it's not gonna be easy. I'm gonna say that much, but who knows? Maybe if they don't have anything that great in there. I will prevent 2 damage. I'm taking 8, so instead of that I'm gonna take 6. Who am I going to steal here though? I could take this 3/3. Well, it doesn't matter now, I just use the startle first. Maybe on the spirit, I guess. I need kill spells. That's not... Okay, this is the card that I don't have to care about. Now, they might have a counter spell, but if it is a flip the switch, it's fine. Because I can pay the 4 here. I can play land. But yeah, I should definitely just attack with the Organ Hoarder. Also with this thing, actually. They can have a flash. Okay, maybe not with this thing, because they can block with the zombie anyway, so... But they could have a Nebel cast intruder, I guess. Alright, so now I'm gonna play the land because I don't wanna get countered by flip the switch. And I will of course sacrifice the Decayed Zombie in here. So I will control this 3/3. It can... I mean, I could take the Geist, but the problem with that thing is of course that this 3/3 will be bigger than the stuff they have. Now, if they have the bounce spell, I will of course lose, but I mean, of course I'm gonna lose to multiple things here. I just have to hope they don't have anything, and they might still draw the bounce spell. So should I? Now with this information available, I don't have... I think I'm gonna return a Scarp Wrangler. Yeah. And the Organ Hoarder gets a counter. Okay, they have nothing now. I will take 4 damage. I will be at 3. So if they have a pump spell, well, I guess there's... Yeah, I still need... I will have a Scarp Wrangler. Well, let's see. Let's see what is gonna be the case here. It's not gonna be easy because I don't think I have a life gain here. That is one darn good card. Wow. That is really good. So... if I attack with the Organ Hoarder and they don't block... yeah, I don't like that. I guess with the Midnight Ambush though... I don't need to even use the... Scarp Wrangler here, and who knows, maybe they will block. And they're not gonna block though. Now they might, because this comes back. Okay, fine. I'll do this. They will take 4 damage if they don't block. And now I will have the Cobscobble up, which I'm not really that willing to take. I know I could take the Crawl here, actually. I could have done that pre-combat, in fact. Return something like well, the only thing I have here is Siege Zombie. 9 damage. Well, maybe I'll do that. Okay, I'll do that. This gets another counter. I could have maybe dealt 5, but whatever. That happened. So now I do have the Scarp Wrangler up here too, if I want to. Although that is... probably I won't be using that. Because I'm not gonna tap the Storm Rider Spirit. The problem is if they get the bounce spell, and now I don't have the... and they freaking did. Oh man. That was the thing I should have maybe played around, and leave mana up for the Corpse Gobble, because I could have sacrificed that at least. Now I need to get lucky maybe here again. If you control, well, they won't be controlling. I mean, I can use to tap something now. And what would I be leaving up? I would be leaving one thing up in here. I will kill the Geist for sure. That is like just an obvious thing. So if I leave the Siege Zombie up, okay. So, although I do like the idea to also... Okay, let's still do it. So, tap the Archivist, I think. Tap this, and doesn't matter actually what the final card is. Let's do this. And then I will have the Midnight Ambush on the Geist. I'll take one here now. I will draw a card, which is very good here. I have a chance. But the fact is that they do have a flash 5-drop here, but I can tap it. And well, I will need to tap it. I can exile the Archivist. I will tap this and I take one. Exiling means I don't get to draw a card from the Morbid Opportunist, but I guess this is what I have to do now. It's gonna be hard. But let's see. I do have the Corpse Gobble up, so I could have a very big menace creature also. Okay, we will see. This is gonna be very close. Very close now, because if they draw land, I could just win here. But if they draw land, they're not gonna give that information to me. Because I can end of turn sacrifice all my stuff for a Corpse Gobble. Oh, they chose just to not go through the motions. Because I don't know, that would have been a hugely risky play. I mean, let's see, they have a bounce spell here. Because I can make a big menace guy. I can have about 10 power menace guy. I guess I don't have to sacrifice everything, but I still have to sacrifice most of my stuff. So the point was to tap this thing, take one in here, and then end of turn, use the 5 mana thing to make a menace token, and this bloody zombie of course cannot block it alone. But it would be very risky if they have anything with the instant speed. Yeah, well anyway, that I was able to crawl back to the game here, even though they have a lot of those flyers. It's good to know about the 3/3 flash flyer. Don't think there's much I can do about it. I guess the Silverbolt does kill most of the stuff, including this Patrician Geist, Cavern Trapper, which could be annoying, and the Storm Rider Spirit, so maybe I'll take it in. What would be the cut in that case? I guess the Angler isn't that good. It's fairly weak against the Larder Zombie, and the 1/2 flyer is not good against their deck. So I'm gonna actually cut the Angler here. And I think I don't care about the other stuff in here, so I'll just do that. Well, now I have my colors available and even 3 lands here. They start with a 1-drop. But I have a a 1/3 to block that thing. So it's all fine. I have 1/3 to block both of those things. That is pretty sweet. And the swamp wasn't a bad row at all. Not at all. The guys, okay, well, I have the kill spells, of course. I have multiple kill spells in the deck. So I'm going to, I think I might want to have 4 mana on the next turn. I would rather use the Silver Bolt on this, but I don't necessarily want to. I want to kill it now that they are tapped out. This is a problematic card. So let's just grasp it, and then they still don't have good attacks here. And then I can either play the Bolt now, but I think I will choose to do this. And then I can play the Hoppling Zombie and the Bolt next turn if I want to, or if there's something I want to kill. They just wanted to play the Flyer. That's completely fine for me. Or Jadar, good. Scarp Wrangler will be nice. So there's no reasonable attack here. But yeah, if they played something I wanted to kill now, I would have had to. Well, I suppose if I played on the previous turn an untapped land and a Silver Bolt, I could now kill something, you know, with the 3 lands and then just play the Evolving Wilds now, whatever, it doesn't matter. What am I gonna play here though? It feels like I just want to play Jadar and the Scarp Wrangler. I mean, I'm gonna tap the Flyer and still have the 1/3 here. Because I'm gonna get a Decayed Zombie now. That's pretty sweet turn. And now I have something I can... Yeah, I can just exile that thing. They get to mill 3 cards, so that's gonna... I'm assuming they target themselves. Because they have a lot of Disturb creatures. 1, 2, 3. None of them had a Disturb. So Candle Trap, Flip the Switch and an Island. That was completely fine for me. So now I will tap this guy because I'm gonna exile the Amalgam anyway. And I will tap these so that I can block the Wind Veteran. If they want to make a 1/1 Flyer, I mean, they can just sacrifice it. Alright, so... yeah, this is pretty easy. I'm gonna get this thing back anyway. So I'll just sacrifice it to play the Hoppling Zombie as well. Jadar is pretty good. So now what I can do, I can even attack with the Covetous Castaway. 1 damage, you know, could matter. Or they just prefer to cast it as a Flyer, completely fine for me. I get to tap there. I mean, I'm taking like 1 per turn here. Who cares? Okay, well, land is kinda awkward, but still, it's still pretty fine here. So I can do this stuff, attack for 5. And I still have a Decayed Zombie coming up, so I can tap one of those things, and I have also the Silver Bolt up here. And I'm not killing this thing. They might have the 3/3. What? Okay, I suppose they... I mean, they could have the Storm Rider Spirit, and this is... I was saving this for that. I can take... I mean, I'm winning this race so easily, of course. But I suppose they either had 2 lands or just... like land and the Storm Rider Spirit, and they didn't want to see if they draw something that helps them more. Well, I mean, I take that. They conceded. And I can now go to the 3rd match. Okay, I will be on the draw. Opponent mulliganed. I have a fine hand. Not a 2-drop, but I have the Morbid Opportunist. Both colors, 4 lands, eaten alive. Ah, definitely. And I have now a 2-drop, so all is quite fine. Okay, so any 2-mana plays, land drops, green white. Main phase. Commando, that's fine. I'll play this and trade, or at least we'll be blocking if they attack. They might have a pump spell, of course. I know I could, take 3 and then play this and then have a block, but I don't think it makes a lot of sense, because if I have this up, they are not gonna offer the trade in that case. This is still fine. I have a 1-2 here now on my graveyard, and that's also understandable now that they got to play that thing, so it makes sense. I could play a flip the switch here now, or have it up, but I feel it's going to be better to still play a yeah, they have 4 cards in their hand. It's not like they're gonna run out of things to play. I want to have an artist thing, and I think I'm also going to block here. They have a free attack. They're gonna attack no matter what. Okay, well, they can also just kill it. So I was thinking about blocking it anyway. If they have a pump spell, then I will trade with a pump spell, but I didn't feel like taking 2 damage for no reason. Alright, so this thing is perfect to sacrifice on the behemoth. This is also one, by the way, I have another double caster in the deck. It's the Covetous Castaway Disturb cost. I don't have the second blue yet, but yeah, let's just the Castaway is still gonna be blocking this thing, but I kind of want to use the flip the switch. But if they don't have anything, that's gonna be so horrible. I'm gonna just do this, especially if I don't play the bait hook angler and I pass with all this mana. That means they're gonna maybe play around a counter spell somehow. So maybe if I next turn draw an island, that would be the best thing. Then I could play the bait hook angler and leave the flip the switch up. They resolved a big thing, which I can't actually kill right now because it has a ward 1, but I can do it. Well, actually I can if I use this. Okay, but I did draw the island here, so I think this is the... Yeah, if I didn't draw an island, I think I would have gone sacrifice this and exile this, pay 2 mana and then leave mana up for the flip the switch maybe, but now it's better to just take the 6 here. I will play the angler and leave the flip the switch up. And then next turn I have the option to either use full cost for this thing or still sacrifice. I guess the 1-2 flyer isn't that great. I could even consider jump blocking with it, but I don't think it's necessary what I want to be doing. I guess I could go to 12, but it's an interesting question. But I do have like a Scarp Wrangler in the deck. If they attack, oh, that's gonna be easy block now. I mean, of course I'm gonna block here because I could, kill it. If they have a pump spell, I might be able to counter it, unless it's a 1 mana pump spell. This has a taxing of 4. They have only 5 mana available, so only a 1 mana spell can be resolved now. They didn't even trade with the Drifter here. What's going on? They could have put this... Okay, they did that thing. So now it has ward 3. But of course I can still kill it. The question is, what do I do here? So can I kill it so that the flip the switch is no? Because even if I sacrifice something to kill this, it's gonna be costing me 4 mana. Now I do understand Midnight Ambush is now giving -13. No pump spell is gonna help there. So I could just spend my entire turn, well, almost the entire turn. Now I can double spell, but actually I can't. There's no good two spells to play. I'm not that worried about, actually. I can do... I kind of don't want to sacrifice a creature. I might want to play all this. So let's just make it die, right? Maybe in their upkeep. Maybe they have more flash creatures, who knows. I will attack with both. Maybe not with the castaway, let's attack with the flyer. I can jump block with this if they somehow get to make this thing survive. Upkeep or combat? I don't think I need to use it in upkeep. So it's gonna cost a total of 5 mana to kill this thing. Let's see if they have some flash spells. They have a Cathar Commando, which is fine. I could have flipped switch it, but then I couldn't kill this, so I guess I'll just... because I can block the commando, so it doesn't really matter too much. So that happened and that happened. So I get to mill 3. Do I mill something relevant? No, actually, well, I suppose if I draw my Kroll from the cellar, then in that case. And they had a target for the flip the switch. Well, now I will just kind of want to leave the counter spell up at some point, but it's not gonna be this turn. So when this enters the battlefield, I will shuffle up to 3 target cards from my graveyard into my library. Okay. So I think I'm gonna just play this flyer now, shuffle some good stuff. Oh, I have this Wrangler in here. Okay, this is multiple good cards, but I have to think about the possibility of drawing Kroll from the cellar. So maybe I will shuffle the Olivia's Midnight Ambush. I will shuffle the Organ Hoarder, and then one other card here. Scarp Wrangler, I don't know which are the best options there. Anyway, I'm gonna just attack now, and it's time to exile this thing. And let's see if they still have some big stuff going on. Haven't been able to play the flip the switch yet, even though they have had multiple targets. Alright, so they get to exile that. That's gonna come back as the front side. Not so bad. Now I can play a spell and have the flip the switch up, so that's good. They might not play a spell here though, to make it night. But that is quite annoying, in fact. I have 8 mana. This costs 7, which I could do here. But then I don't have mana for the flip the switch. If they double spell, this gets to... yeah, this is gonna... I mean, they could double spell. But then again... I have the option to sacrifice this to, have flip the switch up. I just don't like that. I think I'm gonna play the full cost here and hope they don't double spell. Because if they now are able to suddenly double spell... man, that's gonna suck. That is... they have really played around the counterspell in this game. In that case. Okay, good. Now that is good. Am I gonna raise them? I think I am. They played no spell. What they're holding in their hand then? I want to know about that. What is the, because they must have spells. They have missed land drops for so many turns that I assume they have 3 spells in their hand. Are they splashing? Or what is it? What can it be? If this thing attacks, I won't be blocking it. I'll take 3. They might have some pump spells there. Okay, well that is gonna be countered because I can do that. They don't have 4 mana here. So now they can't. I mean, I have 11 power here, so they have to. This is power 2 or less. Alright, so not going to happen then. But they're gonna go to 4. I know I could kill my own zombie here to draw a card, but I don't think I wanna do that. No, especially because if the opponent does double spell, then I can kill the Brutal Cathar, so. Yep. But now they're just dying to this unless they get another blocker here. Now they have 8 mana here. What's going on? Did they sandbag random lands there? Now, I mean, if they can double spell now, they should have given the counter to this. That would have played around foul play, but I guess it's not a card they're gonna play around. I mean, if they have pumps, but they have 1 card, so they're not gonna deal 9 extra here. So I'll just take 3 here. And then they have another spell, but now unless it boosts this thing's power, I can kill it with foul play. Oh, they okay, that's good. That's very good for them. Oh man, but well, that was certainly very good for them. How do I do it? Well, I think I'm going to attack. Well, yes, I'm gonna attack with this for sure. And then I feel like I should play the foul play on the hobbling zombie. That's actually funny, but I think that is the best thing to do because that gives me, that does give me the decayed zombie token. So they are now at 2, and with the startle also in my hand, I'm not gonna die. It's important not to double spell, but I'm not gonna double spell here. I think I have played 1, so I don't want this to flip. But anyway, what I can do now is basically they are dealing 7, but I can give them -2, -0. And then I have 3 2 power attackers in here. So even if they, for example, drew a land here, they couldn't attack at all. And if they don't attack at all, I'm gonna put them on the land. Oh, they have a candle, so they played it safe. Okay, so that's kind of annoying because that was exactly the thing I needed here. I mean, no, that was wrong. Exactly the kind of card that I could have killed with the foul play. The reason I used it on my own creature because what was the likelihood that they're gonna draw exactly a creature that has power of maximum of 2? It wasn't that high of a chance, but they did. But anyway, now I want to draw a card here anyway, so let's just any removal will of course win me the game here. So there's a siege zombie. Can I? Okay, I have a blocker. I guess yeah. I just need to make them draw 1. Yeah, I need them to draw just 1 land now, or a creature that, because I don't die if I have the blocker here. I take 5 here. I can block the 4/4, and then I can of course make them go to 1, and then if they attack with multiple creature, if they attack with all, then I can just use the decayed zombies here. They have to attack with all, that's the only chance, and I'm gonna go to blockers here now, like this, block the most damage I can, and then if they again drew something good, then of course I will lose here, so I am at 4 now, and I have 3 lethal attackers. Okay. That was exciting. So green and white. Defend the Celestus, is there something to keep in mind? bunch of Cathar commandos. The Cathar, well, I have a lot of removal in here, but I'm gonna still put, of course, the Silver Bolt. Now, I mean, obviously I will put it because there's a Burly Breaker and a Tireless Hauler, which are both gonna be killed by that thing. Also a bunch of the other cards, but those are the kind of expensive creatures I can kill with the Silver Bolt. That's pretty good. The Dissipate, how many instant speed tricks I saw there? Is there like... No, there's no reason to play the Dissipate. How about something else here? Like a No Way Out. Do I care about that? I might. Did I see a lot of disturbed creatures there? Don't think I saw. I saw none of them. So the discard 2 can be actually quite useful when they have those 5 drops. And also the Defend the Celestus. I do like the idea of playing it, but I'm not sure if I can cut in that many cards. The Locked in the Cemetery is not that great because they have like double Cathar Commando, so they can maybe free up some big creature that has been locked in the cemetery. So now I would have to cut 2 cards. Can I find 2 cards I'm gonna cut here? I don't think it's gonna be easy. One of them could be a Bait-Hook Angler, though it doesn't do a whole lot against them. And I guess the other one, yeah, it's gonna be very tough to lose another card here. They are so good. Everyone is so good here, so I think the discard thing is still the one I'm going to... Yeah, I want to have the Crawl here available. So the No Way Out is still gonna be a card I'm not gonna be playing here. I guess the Shady Traveler, but no, I like it quite a bit. So yeah, this is the deck. So I basically just cut a the Bait-Hook Angler and put a Silver Bolt in the deck. Okay. Fine, I might get value out of the startle, so I'll keep this 5-lander. They have their own Silver Bolt. It's not that amazing against me, but I guess it does something. No 2-drop. No white mana either, so they just kill the Siege Zombie. No, they have a Bird Admirer. Man, I draw 2 lands in top 3 cards after keeping a 5-lander. That's not good. So... Don't know. I think I'm gonna attack here. Because I'm gonna use the startle on their creature anyway. So this is kind of a free attack because I wasn't gonna block it. I needed to just draw a card. Oh, I guess I could have done that on my own turn. Well, I guess it's still going to be like okay, fine. I'm actually gonna kill it now. 3/5 is more annoying. Fine, let's kill it. Yeah, if I use the startle on my own turn, then it still would have been a 1 power creature and I would have taken 1. Or I could have used the startle now and take 1. So the difference wasn't... There was no difference there. Now the thing is, of course, that now it is night for the big werewolves and I have nothing to deal with them. And they have a brutal Cathar, which is... It's night now, so it's not going to... that's going to exile anything yet, but I drew another land here, so this is really bad, of course. If they get to double spell, then they get to exile my Siege Zombie. I can try... Well, I'm gonna just do this and maybe... Don't really care if they use... Oh, I'm gonna take 3 anyway. Well... Whatever. That was gonna happen no matter what. Just let me draw a card. I need to draw something. But there is something I can also... Well, let's see what they do first. That's a good one too. That's also a target for a Silver Bolt, so that's... All this is very interesting actually. This ain't gonna give no double strike because they... I guess if they have this... The 4 mana 2/3 that gives 2 counters. Then they can get Coven. But I feel it's still the thing I want to do here is just do this now when they don't get to respond with that. So I can play the Silver Bolt here. I kind of don't want to show it to them, but also if you can see what I will be doing on the next... oh, but I don't want a double spell. Yeah, because I played one spell. I don't want this to flip, so yeah. But if that wasn't gonna flip, then I should play the Silver Bolt, because the next turn I can play the Traveler and activate this, because I will have 6 mana available. But yeah, I don't want this to flip, so that's the reason I chose to not play the Bolt. Also, they don't now know about it, so who knows, maybe it is fine. Now they can attack with both, because if I block with the 4/4, both of these have at least first strike, so the Silver Bolt will be able to, you know, kill my Awoken Demon here, so I have to take 6 here, that's not great. You know, first strike in... let the first strike damage happen, and then they can use the Silver Bolt to kill the Awoken Demon before it gets to eat the stuff there. So it's not great for me, but and they why would they not do that pre-combat? They could have actually made Coven happen. Or was I wrong? Oh yes, I was. Now I see. Because they can't keep the counters to the same creature, of course. I drew yet another land though, so this is... okay, well, in this position I'm gonna lose, because the doubles... well, it doesn't even have to have a double strike. First strike is all they need. I can't deal with it. I can kill the Moonrage Brute, and even killing this is gonna cost me, what, 3 life, so... that was... well, I kept the 5-lander, but I still... I mean, I drew, what? In 7 cards I drew 5 more lands, so it's really... I mean, I still drew more lands than spells, even though my deck had more spells than lands left. Alright, so did anything change? The trainer is there. Well, that means my Silver Bolt is even better now. I kinda like the discard, but I just don't want to cut any cards, so... or is the discard better than Flip the Switch? I don't think so. The Flip the Switch can also be used to counter the trick with 4 mana. Unless they have 8 mana. But let's see now a good hand here. It would be a good hand if I had a swamp and an island. I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay. I hope this would be my first 3-0 traditional draft in a long, long time. But unless the opponent... well, they kept 7. Yeah, suddenly the 2 island starting hand seems very good. I mean... okay, whatever. Bat Whisperer goes away, and I guess... Corpse Gobble can still be okay, but maybe it's not the least useful one out of these, and let's see if I can draw a land here now. But this was just a complete non-game if I don't draw the land. Yeah, whatever. I know I could have continued, but I'm just, I mean, if that happens, I had 3 bad hands, and my deck has 17 lands, and the mana base has 2 Evolving Wilds, 7 islands, 8 swamps. So, I mean, that's the reason I picked the Evolving Wilds, to kind of to prevent starting hands like that. And it's fine to, I mean, get sometimes those. But then Mulligan to 6 was no lander, and then Mulligan to 5 was a 1 lander still, which didn't draw the second land. So that was really just, I mean, given how consistent this deck is, this was just, and of course in the game 2 of this match I just flooded out. I know I kept the 5 lander, but still out of the 7 draws I had, 5 of them was lands. So that, I mean, I wouldn't have whined if out of those 7 draws, 3 of them was lands, because that was kind of the expected amount, but no, 5 of them were lands. So I had a chance to go to 3-win with this amazing deck, but match 3, basically 2 games, I lost because of mana issues. Or, well, mana issues, yeah, basically the mulligans were just also sort of mana issues. The deck was, I mean, you can't really hope for a better deck. I even had you know, a Palm Rare in here, and everything else was just so good in here that I don't need to, I mean, I don't have to analyze this deck. It was just one of the best decks you could draft in this format, unless you get like an amazing amount of bomb rares. I didn't have more than one bomb rare, but all the other cards were really high quality there. And the mana curve was good. Mana was good with 2 Evolving Wilds. I mean, that's kind of the sweet spot, because if you play like more than 2 Evolving Wilds, that maybe had too many lands that enter tapped. I would still play 3 in most of my decks, but what can you do? I tried to make as consistent deck as possible, but I still had to double mulligan and still have a bad hand in the last game of the event. Let's claim the prize, and that's it. The next draft will be a premier draft. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.